The internal wars, chaos within the mainstream media. Oh, must-see TV. I told you it was going to be must-see TV, but this is only beginning. Only beginning. I have a lot to say. Stay tuned.
Like, we are not the only nation that has had an autocratic takeover. It happened in Poland. It happened in Brazil. It happened where I was ambassador, Czech Republic. All three of those countries got to the other side. They ousted autocratic regimes like Trump and Musk. You know, there's always an oligarch.
Right.
Whenever you've got a dictator, you got an oligarch by his side.
Got a money bag.
How can we get to the other side like those countries did and not go the way of Hungary or Turkey where they never got them out? There's 1,001 things you can do, but we've done a big study, and we know the 7 things you must do, and that's what we're working on. Number 1, defend the rule of law. That's always what these dictators go for. Number 2, protect elections, because that's how you kick them out. Number 3, you have to fight corruption. Number 4, protect pluralism, and on and on. There's a set of 7 things, and the lawsuits we're bringing, I'm planning 100 this year. 100. The lawsuits we're bringing are designed as part of that. And it's starting to work, because you can't do it in the courts of law alone. You need the court of public opinion. And what did we see this week? In parallel with our Treasury lawsuit, that first Treasury case, peaceful protesters for the first time starting to show up at the Treasury building around the country. Members of Congress for the first time starting to come to protests. So you need that. And even the press, so many others have bent the knee. Too many corporate owners of press have bent the knee, kissed the ring, kowtowed. But the press is waking up. I saw some tougher confrontations this week. So you trigger that immune response of the body politic. Wake up, democracy. And that's what's on the other side, is an awakened democracy. Donald Trump and Elon Musk, peaceful. Donald Trump and Elon Musk can't resist that.
Wonder why. It seems to be you're getting a little bit under Elon Musk's, a little bit under his skin here. He tweeted, he posted on X about you a number of times today. What do you do about that? What do you say in response to it?
Many, many tweets today.
Many. We're showing them on the screen.
About our work and our case and me from Mr. Musk. Jen, he's supposed to be in charge of government efficiency. How does he have time to do all this tweeting? I think he's not used to being held accountable. But what we're doing in our cases, the case tomorrow under the Constitution, but we also have done dozens of FOIA requests. I applied to be a member of the DOJ. They said I'm not welcome because of my political affiliation. We filed the very first case of any kind against the Trump administration, saying the DOJ was illegal right after Donald Trump was sworn in. We got that Treasury order. We're holding Musk and Doge and Trump accountable. And Mr. Musk doesn't seem to be used to that. But you know what? I take those tweets as a backhanded compliment, and they are going to spur me on to bring even more litigation when necessary to defend the Constitution and laws from the Trump-Musk chaos camp.
The internal wars blocking Trump's policies, the mainstream media in chaos. Howdy, folks. Dave Mann here again, Rollman Revolution. There's a lot of stuff going on. And the clip that I just played at the beginning of this is Norm Eisen. And if you don't know who he is, the War Room has done by far probably the best breakdown. Natalie G. Winters of War Room has done the best breakdown of Norm, and it'd be better if you actually went there to try to get the information about who this guy is, because I will just tell you, to try to squeeze it down to that second grade level, as I always try to do, is Norm is a deep state asset that basically just is, his whole job is to come out and to create problems. He's the guy who sticks the jelly donut in your gas tank, or pour sugar down your gas tank. That's norm, okay? And this guy is talking about democracy. You'll see 7 pillars of democracy and blah, blah, blah. You got to admire these people. You really do, because this guy gives 2 shits about democracy. He doesn't care really about anything. His whole purpose is literally to try to clog up the system as long as he possibly can to ensure that President Trump doesn't get the outcomes that he wants. That's literally what his whole job role in life is. And if you remember what I said several months back, several videos back, about what we must do to anyone who decides to stand in the way of a legal Trump order or executive order or policy, we are going to find what that human being holds dear, and we're going to squeeze it out of them. I am sick and tired of these games. I don't know about you, but the reason why things don't get done in Washington, D.C. is because of these type of games that continue to keep being played. And the Democrat Party uses the court system. Don't get confused. If you are a person who is still digesting the CNN, MSNBC's, Fox News's, all the mainstream media nonsense, the newspapers and all the other wire chains, I'm telling you to just take a break, because every one of these people are blowing and running cover and talking about bullshit and nonsense to try to get you distracted of what really is kind of going on behind the scenes. Look, Doge and Elon Musk, okay, if they didn't find anything, okay, if let's say they started looking and, USAID didn't have anything and they were just giving millions of dollars to Somalia for this and, for trying to help, bring irrigation and systems to certain areas of villages, blah, nobody would say a word and nobody would care, and these people wouldn't be standing outside the building protesting and complaining about what Elon is doing. The reason why these people are so pissed off and why it is clogging up the news cycle in a variety of different ways is because he is uncovering the very thing that has caused this country to be divided, that caused this country to go broke, to figure out why the colleges and the institutions are not making any sense and why everything has just gone so completely woke. It's like, where did all the funding come for all this? Oh, USAID. And when you start to dig into what Elon is doing, and he's, like I said, this is full transparency. I don't understand what the argument is within the mainstream media, which is why I think it's completely hilarious. But they have no argument. They don't really know how to attack what Trump is doing, because what Trump is doing is what the American people called him to do, and what every good leader should have been doing in the first place. But we don't have that in this country. We have this false premise of leadership. We've been sold this bill of goods, like the Lindsey Grahams of the world, the Mitch McConnells, the Chuck Schumers. They're just a cheap suit. That's all these people are. They are propped up puppets by deep state actors who tell them what to do, how to think, how to vote, what goes to the floor, what doesn't, shove it all into a bill, spend, while you and I pay for it all. So Elon uncovers all this stuff, and I've never seen Democrats work so hard before. They are so pissed off. I have never seen them show up to work and protest and get out there because they're worried. You know why they're worried? Because eventually, one of these programs is going to have their name attached to it. One of these programs may have been shoveling off some money to them. Maybe some of these Medicare recipients that doesn't have any information could be going to somebody's campaign. We just don't know. But the only reason why people would throw such a fuss over somebody recovering all of this waste, fraud, and abuse is because they're the recipients of this waste, fraud, and abuse. And if you don't understand that as a human being, America, well, then either pay attention to what I'm saying or start watching War Room or a couple other alternative medias, because I'm telling you, CNN and MSNBC are just feeding you lines of bullshit. It's pure noise. And what noise means is just a distraction. It's more or less to just like a bang, a bow. Oh, it's just all this noise to try to keep you away from what the target is. And what the target is what they're doing in the court system. See, the Washington, D.C. court system is the most concentrated criminal racketeering, whatever you want to call it, scheme in which there's hundreds of thousands of lawyers and political consultants and firms, and all these people do all day long is wag the dog and pull this thing and do this and set up campaigns and trade smear campaigns, and it's just a cesspool of just shit. And Natalie G. Winters, who's on War Room, who's the White House correspondent, explained it in fairly good detail today, and I'll put a link to this War Room episode because it was fantastic. But she mentioned that, as now being a White House correspondent, you get to feel and see what's really kind of going on in that press room and how these people really operate and think. And it's just, ugh. Yeah, I'd be the same way. There's nothing worse than standing around a bunch of people who have to pretend all damn day long. And it's just amazing that this is what we call news in this country. I mean, to find out that 9 out of the 10 Ukrainian news agencies were bought and paid for by the American taxpayer using USAID money. So that means that they controlled the propaganda outfit, controlled the narrative in Ukraine. Huh. Now, why would we do something like that? Why would America, why would anybody do anything like that? It's criminality. It's criminality. The amount of criminality embedded within this government, it's unreal. And what President Trump is doing, and the outrage that you constantly hear on the media now about, this morning with, what President Trump's doing, he's firing these people and he's putting these people all out in the streets, and, the USAID and these people have no job. Look, there's so many people working for organizations and agencies that this government shouldn't have been doing in the first place. And if the American people knew that this was going on, it would never exist. But again, this was all hidden. And now that it's transparent, which is what the American people voted for, full transparency. That's what Elon is delivering. The media doesn't know how to handle this. It doesn't know how to handle what President Trump is doing. And they're going to try to play this game. Norm Eisen is going to try to play this game in the courts. But he's going to lose. And he's going to lose badly. The Supreme Court of the United States, John Roberts, wake up, put your beer down, put your big boy pants on, because you're not going to be able to avoid this one. It's going to go on that emergency docket. And you need to really start to look at this. Is getting to the point of total chaos. The American people voted for President Trump. We want full transparency. And you have people in Congress complaining about the government wasting money. And they don't want you to look any deeper because Elon's finding all this waste, fraud, and abuse. I thought waste, fraud, and abuse, uncovering waste, fraud, and abuse is exactly what government efficiency is supposed to be all about. Look, the American people are the ones responsible for all of this tax. That is a gift that you're supposed to be responsible for. And when you are not, you need to be outed, held responsible, and justice needs to be applied to you. But to continue down the madness, once the madness is discovered, is complete and utter stupidity. So, Supreme Court, you need to wake up. You need to start ruling on these things quickly, because guys like Norm are all embedded throughout this government, the State Department, those political appointee positions, all throughout the FBI. You're seeing people resign left and right. You keep hearing about these resignations because, again, nobody wants to have to be ousted to go in their departments and uncover the cesspool, which has been going on for decades now. Nobody wants their name and their career. It's better to walk away with your head still held high before people start ripping and tearing into things, because we know there's a lot of corruption, a lot of waste, fraud, and abuse. And the American government has been doing things they shouldn't have been doing in the first place. The CIA focusing all their attention on the American people when they should have been taking care of terrorists and the Mexican cartel, which they are doing now under Pete Hegseth. So there's a lot of things that, you can complain about Trump, but the one thing you can't complain about is the efficiency of the people that he has picked, the direction he has taken the country, the reaction that the world is actually taking on the grand scale to President Trump and his decision making. Sorry, mainstream media. Sorry, Norm, you're not going to win. It's over. You people need to stop, regroup, and rethink really what's going on. I mean, I'm listening to guys like James Carville and Matthews and all of these other old school back alley Democrats, the ones back in the day where we ran like, those people are done. That doesn't exist anymore. The Democrat Party's been hijacked by the likes of the David Hoggs of the world. That's the direction these people think they need to take the party, and it's lost even the young vote, lost the black vote, lost the Hispanic vote. Why? Because they don't make any sense in the real world where most of us live. So yeah, it's kind of nice to finally have a president. And this president surround himself with people who actually know what the hell they're doing. It's pretty awesome, isn't it? Because for 4 years, I don't know what was going on in that White House. And again, as bad as Joe Biden is, and has as many crimes as that man and his family has committed, I don't believe he is ultimately responsible for all of the stuff that kind of went on, because he isn't really there. These people were making decisions on his behalf, and just think about that for a minute. These people stole an election in order to try to game the system and set it up so that President Trump now is picking up a whammer of a problem. You know, we have Congress who should have been looking at itemized bills because we have to make serious cuts here. Nobody's looking at anything. And, well, you know, March 14th is coming up. And I mentioned several years back in 2017 when they talk about the IRS and, you know, how this money just keeps going up and up. Well, the debt ceiling. Well, we're reaching that debt ceiling again. And they're going to have to vote and ask you, hey, everybody, you know, credit cards all the way up at the top again. Can we get some more? It's like, when is the child known as Congress going to recognize that Mother Hubbard's cupboard's empty? And the only way we're going to ever fill it back up is if you stop spending as much money as you already are. That means cuts, major cuts, all of your special programs, all of your special interests, all the people you made those promises to. Yeah, you're going to have to break them because we're not paying for it. I'm sorry that you got a Ferrari out of it or some special deal or, you know, a honeypot. I don't know what. But let's just be honest. Enough's enough. And I think you can ask any American who has survived these past 4 years. Yeah, they've had enough. Everybody I've talked to, and I've talked to a lot of people, I have a lot of free time. But those people, they've all had enough in one way or another. Either a loss of family members, dealing with the nonsense that was over all of the stuff that has gone on, just financials, how everything's so expensive, can't travel, you know, the crazy crap going on within the school systems, mothers losing their minds with this whole trans issue. I mean, just think of the amount of chaos that is just endured over those past 4 years. And you finally have a guy who's doing what he said he was going to do in the lead up to this. Execute, 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 boom, 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 boom. Putting people who are highly qualified into positions where we're actually going to get stuff done. And then when Trump makes the comment that we got to get all of the people out of there that are not going to be working towards his policies and executive orders and trying to lead. Look, if I'm the CEO of a company, and you got to look at it like this. If I'm the CEO of a company and I come in to restructure it because the guy before you was running the company into the ground, well, yeah, I'm going to supply or re-staff my whole crew with people that I know, I trust, and understand the vision that we are heading towards. Because if you're not going to do that, and you're just going to have people like Norm throw monkey wrenches into the gears every single week, and we got to be held up and held up and held up, well, yeah, that's going to cause a crap load of problems like it did in the first Trump administration. No. All of these people have been hand-selected. And I have to give Steve Bannon credit because I think he is, I'm going to start calling him he's the Johnny Carson of politics, because he's like the gateway guy from going from television or this side of the couch to that side of the couch, because almost everybody he has had on his show over the past 4 years during this whole craziness is now working for President Trump in one way, shape, or form. And that says a lot, because the people who were telling the truth, who were uncovering, bringing the receipts. Now, this isn't just favoritism, oh, I know this person. These are people who had the back of the president when everybody else was lying in the media about all of the nonsense that was going on. These people were always there. And that's what a team is. It's based on trust, not who you're working with. You can work with 100 people and people that just hate each other. If they don't trust each other and we don't start communicating, working towards the vision, it doesn't matter. Trump realized this. So he started handpicking these things way down range, which is why every single one of these people are going to be confirmed. And that is what the Senate's responsibility is now. Look, we have control of the Senate. I'm sorry. Put your stuff aside. You see what's happening. You need to get on the side of MAGA, because if you're not going to get on the side of MAGA, you're going to get turfed out too. There's enough people in this country that want to rebuild it and want to work in the direction towards something better. And if you're going to just obstruct that, we got nothing for you, and we will take you out of the game. Put you on the sideline, give you a nice little cushy job working at a community college someplace. But we're done with this nonsense. This country is so full of wealth, and every American should not be suffering. There should not be one homeless person living on the streets in this country. Not one veteran living on the streets in this country. It's insane to even say that we have the problems. Look, we spend more in healthcare in this country, and everybody's sick here. Everybody's got diabetes today, or is overweight, or has got some kind of thyroid problem, or blood pressure issues. It's like, sweet Jesus, when are we going to start to realize that maybe the people that said they were taking care of us all these times have not been? So now you got a guy who's trying to do the right thing. And what does the media do? Like, just flipping out. Oh, flipping out. Hey, this guy is, he's like Adolf Hitler, and he's just doing this, and he's like a dictator. They have nothing. They don't know what to do, because in any real, true reality, nobody of any sane mind would say what Trump is doing is unfair or over the top or ridiculous. The only people that would say something like that are crazy people or people who have something to hide. So which is it? Because personally, I'm so tired of listening to Joy-Ann Reid or Rachel Maddow lie, and they keep getting caught in these lies. But mainstream media is completely done for. Mainstream journalism, as far as like the Washington Post and some of these like papers they completely went off the rails with bullshit. It's like, can you not find writers that are going to just tell the truth? It's completely sad. Never should have been this way. And this country is so filled with talent, so filled with, just look at a person like Natalie G. Winters. If you don't know who this is, and if this is the first time you're watching one of my videos, search Natalie G. Winters War Room. You will see not only a beautiful, but an intelligent, articulate girl who went to college and finished it in record time while being a co-host on a major show day in and day out. Most people can't get their shoes on in the frickin' morning and show up to work on time. And this girl is already making headway in Washington, D.C. at the age of 23, 24 now. It's like, maybe it's time everyone starts upping their game a little bit, because I think there's a lot of people out there who just feel that there was never an opportunity because, again, there was just crazy going on for such a long time. And you would be right. You would be right in saying so. But now it's a time for you to shine. There's so much talent in this country, and it's time that talent starts making themselves known. We're going to get better, America. We're going to get better. The direction is going to get better. You just got to, don't fall in for the traps. Continue to keep spreading the truth, calling out the mainstream media for the nonsense they continue to keep spewing. And you be the one to speak out. When it comes from you, the people in the area, the people that know you, especially if you're talking about it like it matters, because, it does. The future of your family matters. The future of your children matters. So what you say and how you say it really matters. And you never know when the right person might be listening and says, you know what, if it's important enough for Julie or Robert or Sarah, then maybe I should look into it, because I like these people and they're pretty well educated and they know what they're talking about. And that's how we expand this. This is how we inform every American so that they themselves can make the proper decision. But as long as we have a media that continues to keep pushing out bullshit, there's going to be people like me. They're going to soar. People like me are going to continue to keep exposing these individuals to the point where there's not going to be anything left. I'm tired, and I know you are tired too. But Donald J. Trump, Elon Musk, and the recent picks of President Donald Trump is a masterclass in 1986 Mets, in my opinion. People would say, yeah, they're one. This is the team, my friends. They may not look. Everybody's looking at them like, oh, the 86 Mets, all these people. Yeah. Just wait. It's going to be must-see TV, my friends. And this is the thing. There's a reason why these Democrats and these people within the establishment and are hiring and going to court and using all this law. There's a reason why. They're going to get to something that is so profound, so over the top, so morbid, so evil, so disgusting, that your own sitting representatives, senators, played a part of. And it's going to change the dynamics of how people look at your leadership for the rest of our lives. And we haven't even gotten to that point yet, but we are going to reach that nexus fairly soon. And when we do, you're going to remember this video. And Dave told you, he said, you know, there is going to be that moment, that aha moment in the future where it's like, I didn't know if Elon was doing this, right, but there's going to be that moment where you just can't deny it. It's going to be like, they were doing what? What? Right. To be continued, I should say. Look, guys like Norm, I keep screwing his last name, Norm and Eisen. This guy, if you listen to him, you heard him in the front of this video. It's just that weasel kind of mentality. Like, he doesn't really know what to do, and he's up there and he's grandstanding, and he's putting on his big old show. But that's all they're doing. They're just holding things up in the court. And we don't have time for this anymore. The Supreme Court knows the direction that Trump is doing. We know that Trump was all of the crap that's gone on over these past 4 years and prior to that. Trump has been clean. We know how dirty the Southern District of New York is, and look what's happening within that. But once you start cleaning out the swathsness of shit, okay, you're going to start seeing the country start to turn towards something a little bit better. But you have to first get the corruption out. You have to get the gangrene all out. Otherwise, it's never going to heal. And that's what Trump's doing. And the media doesn't want it because they know eventually it's going to hit a sore spot for them too. A lot of the media outlets are culpable in these situations for putting on protests and putting on fake. It's almost peaceful protest going on. I mean, just the mindlessness of so much stuff that has gone on over the years, and then to discover that so much of it was being funded by you, the taxpayer, through these NGOs and special networks to put people out in the streets or people. It's amazing that this kind of stuff goes on while we have people suffering every single day from health issues, can't pay their rent, can't, make it from 1 week to the next. And these people are just handing your money out like it's nothing. Like they just don't care. Billions of dollars. Do you know what $1 billion could do for a family in the United States? You could take that $1 billion and diversify it, give $1 million to every single person in the United States, and it would do more good than the $1 billion you just sent overseas to some random thing that is just going to be pissed away. It's like it just blows my mind that we do this. It's time to get better. And I've had enough. I've just had enough. These internal wars that are going on behind the scenes that the media is not really reporting on because they're just gaslighting you with bullshit on the day-to-day, including the Rachel Maddow people. They have nothing to offer to say. So it's just a bunch of bombless distractions. It's just a bunch of drop a bomb over here, a bomb over there, drop a bomb. It's just noise. It's firecrackers, my friends. It has nothing to do with it. What you need to pay attention to is what's going on behind the scenes. They're trying to clog stuff up into the court system to say that what Trump's executive orders are not legal. Okay. Supreme Court, wake up, put the beer down, put the cocktails down, put all of the porn away. Time to get back. Put the big boy pants on. We've got to start making some decisions here because the country can't afford any more of this nonsense. We are running close to $40 trillion in deficit. We're spending $7 trillion. I mean, we're running these deficits, $2 trillion deficits every single year, and you have a Democrat Party and establishment guru type people who are pissed off that Elon Musk is finding waste, fraud, and abuse. How about we're done? We're done. I'm done. I certainly hope you're done. All right, my friends. Don't get caught up in the nonsense of the mainstream. Understand two things that are going to happen here. Number one, it's going to get clogged up for a little bit, and Donald J. Trump is going to have to abide by whatever the court says if these crazy, whacked-out judges continue to keep playing the games. However, when it gets to the Supreme Court, which it's going to go on the emergency docket, and it will at some point. Again, I'm not a lawyer and I don't know how long these processes go, but once that information comes out, I will definitely tell you. But the thing is that this was the games that I was telling you about that they were going to start to play once Trump got into office. And the whole idea is just prevent defense, to try to clog up the process for as long as they can, because once they know they get the picks in place and Donald Trump gets his policies in, that's when the machine starts to work on its own. And that's when these people are going to get steamrolled. So they're doing everything they can. It's the final scream, as Steve Bannon says, of a dying regime. That's what's happening right now. But it's up to us as individuals to keep pushing the football forward, to keep making the calls, to keep applying the pressure, using the leverage you have, the voice you have, to wake up those people who are not moving. You're going to make them move. We are going to make them move, because this is our nation, our money, and our future. And I am tired of killing myself to have nothing. And so should you. At least I hope you do. This is the time for the working class. This is the time that the middle America, the one that made this country, finally get rewarded and get a piece of the action. That will be my fight. If you would like to join me, I will take anyone on board. But that is what I will be focusing on over the next few years. It's time to take back what is ours. We, in any way possible. If that means getting rid of the Federal Reserve, we're going to get rid of the Federal Reserve. If that means making our own currency, we're going to make our own currency. But we're going to do what benefits us. We're going to stop paying millions of dollars, trillions of dollars in interest to a private bank entity that keeps printing money out of thin frickin' air for no apparent reason, and we have no control over it. I am tired of an outside influence meddling in American affairs. That's the reason we have this problem in the first place. You can't have somebody from another country who's using their bank and flapping their $2 bills, $100 bills in front of your eyes, saying, if you don't do what I tell you to, you're not going to get this. And that's what too many of these damn senators and representatives have. There are too many of them. In Bernie's case, only 1 million. But the problem with it is they're all taking too much damn money. And whilst they're taking all that money, you and I are the ones getting screwed over. It's like, where does all this money go? Billions of dollars, trillions of dollars this country takes in. And it's like, where does it go? It's just gone. And their answer for it is, we need more. Debt ceiling is coming. I'm done. Are you done? It's time to put America first. That's what Trump's doing. That's what the mainstream is freaking out over. That's what good old Norm is trying to prevent. And that is why it is up to us to continue to keep squeezing Norm and exposing him for the corrupted ass he is. That's what we're going to start to do. We're going to start making the people that make this process hard extremely famous. We're going to make them so famous that people are going to write songs about them. Oh, the next one who tried to kill Trump. The next one who tried to get Trump. Okay, we're going to start writing songs. We're going to have to write these songs. Anyway, I've gotten silly enough. All right, my friends, I will talk with you soon. Thank you for checking me out. If you like this, subscribe, like it, share it with somebody. Again, I'm just a small-time guy, but I have a lot to say, and I think, given the right platform, I think it might reach the right people and we could do something with this. But it's going to take everything I got and everything you got. But I appreciate everybody who has watched thus far. Thank you for checking me out again. www.rollmanrevolution.com. I have other videos up there. Rumble, Odyssey, YouTube. Everything's free. Just give me a like, give me a share, make a comment if you have the time. I appreciate you all, and we'll talk with you soon. See you on the next one. Take care.